Well, the first one, I think I drew planets. I think I first of all drew like the Earth, and because it's easy, because it's round, you know, with countries on it, and planets, you know, like Saturn, you know, the Sun. I think I draw a train as well, a bit like the one out of the wrong trousers. Okay. Oh yes, what I'd have to do, Wallace, looking quite primitive looking, he'd have his eyes close together like this. All my characters start like this. And he'd probably have a low brow with a scrunched up nose. Probably have more a primitive look, you know, and a receding chin with a gel sticking out. He might even have hairy brows, I don't know, but still with the distinctive ears. And probably quite hunched, with maybe longer arms, with knuckles. Gromit's a bit more difficult. I mean, it'd probably be more hairy, but it's harder with plasticine to put hair on. Maybe he'll look more hunched and a bit more like Savage, but maybe he had saber teeth, I don't know. Maybe not. Hairy ears, hairy knees. I love the work of Ray Harryhausen. I love dinosaurs. Can I turn it that way up? I'm not used to drawing things realistically, so I'll give them with their eyes close together. Sorry, this is rubbish. I love 1 million years BC. I just love the idea of dinosaurs and people in the same world. You know, that's how they were portrayed back then. And that's why we did that in Early Man. It was like a reference to those films, really. After seeing 1 million years BC, I used to think I'd love to make a film with my own dinosaur, and I started making puppets of dinosaurs and wanted to animate them. And that is the film that got me wanting to make my own films. They used to think that in those days that the animals stood upright as well, that the T-Rex would stand upright. In Early Man we more like the way they used to think, because it's more of a reference to the Ray Harryhausen films. I loved King Kong, Willis O'Brien King Kong. It is one of my first memories of cinema, the very early King Kong. And again, I really loved the dinosaurs in it, most of all, because I was obsessed with dinosaurs. But it was really about this giant monkey, you know, that was on this island. There were biplanes in it, weren't there, as well? I didn't know anything about animation back then. I didn't know how it was done. So that's a terrible monkey. He wasn't quite as cartoony as that. Sorry, that reminded me of a joke I once did. Probably the best way would be to use a spray. So it's like an aerosol can, you know, like a fly spray or something. Actually, I've missed out Fay Ray. He carried the girl to the top of the Empire State Building. Well, they'd look the same, really, but I'll just draw them from memory. Ginger, for example, yeah, the eyes usually start close together, even for Ginger, you know. Actually, my sister had pet chickens for the eggs, but they became like pets. So there was always like a chicken movie in the back of my head, because we used to think up ideas back then. They all had teeth. Actually, Ginger had a hat on, and they all had this collar on, like a scarf around the neck. The reason being is because it was very difficult to make them as one piece. We had to separate the heads from the bodies to make them easier to make and to piece together.
Any chance we're going to see a Cro-Man sequel in the near future?
I don't believe I'm allowed to talk about that at the moment. I love penguins. I was going to say dogs, because my penguin doesn't really look like a penguin, but a real penguin from the Antarctic. I usually start with the beak, so it's not very even penguin-shaped beak, really, or the eyes. And I'll draw him with a rubber glove on his head, the one from the wrong trousers. Why penguins? Well, it seemed like an unlikely villain, you know. I always had this idea that penguins would come and visit Wallace and Gromit, and then it came to do the wrong trousers. Oh, saw my hand slip then. He doesn't have a hunchback like that. I'll just give him the hand holding his bag of swag, his money, and he steals a diamond. Right? I think obviously there's power of flying, really. Let's do a Hognob flying, the new character from Early Man. Doug's sidekick is known as Hognob. How should I do his hair sweeping back in this? A hog just seemed like a funny and a different kind of animal. Okay. I just like feeding the birds, you know, and they... Yeah, I just love birds. I love the character that they have. I've been wanting to make a film about birds for quite a while. I don't know if I'll get a chance. I don't know why I always draw them with hats on. And I often just doodle things like this. This is where a lot of ideas come from, it's just doodling.